Hello everybody, today I'm going to show the use of hibernate in Spring, integrating the hibernate in the Spring. In our last tutorial we saw how to use Spring security, and we'll begin with the same tutorial. So first what you do is you have to download that project, which is Hello Spring 1. The link to the project is given in the description of the previous video. I have already downloaded the project. Now I will just import the project. First I will just unzip it. Okay, it's unzipped. Now I will just import the project. Then I will say add to the working set. So this is my new working set. Strings didn't came to my Hello Spring working set. Okay, so it came to my working set. Now what I will do is just update the project just to make sure everything is running. Maven update. Okay, fine, and just let's try to run it. Run server. Next, Hello Spring finished. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, because I was already logged on in the last project previously, so yeah. Yes. Now let's see admin. This is strange. I don't know why this browser doesn't destroy the session. I'll use instead the Firefox. Okay, I go to admin page. The username and password was admin. Okay, I log out. So yeah, this is the last project, and let's begin with that project. Okay, so first we should do is add the required dependency in pom.xml. So first we'll just add the required version of all the libraries. So these are the required versions. You can see this version from pom.xml that I will put along with this video. The project link to the project of this project also can be found in the description of this video. Okay, then we have to add all the dependencies now. So first I'll add the dependency for database and database pool and the hibernate variant. Then one more dependencies, then dependency related to ORM. I'll just copy all the dependencies. Okay, so this is not very hard thing to understand, so I have put all the dependency for MySQL, tag leave and hibernate. Okay, now we have to create a database. Make sure your MySQL is running. So for me, I have just used the XAMPP server. So XAMPP, it comes with the package of MySQL and Apache, so it runs the MySQL in the background, and you can access the MySQL with help of phpMyAdmin through the browser. So I have created a database called Hello Spring, and there I will just put all the MySQL dump. So this is my MySQL DOM, which just creates a table called users and another table called user roles. Then we insert different values to these tables. First is the admin, and this is the bcrypt hash of the admin. So how I got this is just you can go to some online tool, just type bcrypt online tool, then username admin, then password is also admin, and this is just the hash, big crypt hash of the admin. And similarly for user, the password is also user, and for the guest, the password is also guest. And we define roles for admin. The role admin, his role is either user or admin. For user, role is user. For guest, role is guest. I'll just execute this SQL dump here and feed the database. Okay, now the database I created with the users and the roles. And these are the roles. Okay, now we have to create two classes since corresponding to these tables. These are user and user roles. So let's create. I'll just create the package under the same with the same name, that is hello spring dot model. And here we'll add two classes, that is user and user roles. Let's create new class user and a new class user roles. User role. Then here I'll just paste the code. So here the important thing are these private variables and their setter. So these are the variables, and we have the setter, getter and setter for these. Okay, then same for the user roles. So these are the private variable with set of getter and setter. Okay, now we have to create data access object. Then the package will be the same hello spring dot data access object. And here we'll also have one interface and one class. So user DAO is just the interface which has a method find by username, and we have a implementation of the user DAO interface with the implementation of the method find user by name. Okay, now we have to create a service. For service also, package name will be similar, new service, service. And here let's create a service. Let's say hello user detail service. Okay, and in this service, this service has to implement user detail service. Okay, and just add unimplemented methods. So I don't know why it is not putting override. Now the error is okay. Let's see what happens. happened. AC facetus. Okay, it should be 1.6. It should be 1.6. Okay. Okay, it's gone. Now I'll just copy paste the code. Okay, so you have to create an instance of user DAO, then list java.util. It is the Spring class current authority. Okay, the errors are gone because the import were missing. Okay, now we define the service. Now all the classes are defined. Now let's go to web.inf. This should be here. Yeah. And here we have to add a new XML file. For the database stuff. Sorry. And we have to define this file. Spring new other XML file. Yes. This is the XML file, and let's save this web.xml also. Okay, now here what is important is first you have to define the data source, which is of course this this class, and for this class you need to provide the driver, the database which can be accessed through this URL. Since my database is hello spring, so I have to put spring here, and whatever username you have put here and whatever password you have put here, which I'll not show in this video, the password of mine. Okay, then another thing we have to define, the important thing we have to define is this is important for the Hibernate, this object relation mapping. So we are defining what's the relation between these models, user and user roles, with the table, corresponding table, user table and user underscore role table. Okay, now we have to define these XML files on the resource. So let's define, so we said it is inside the package ORM, or a folder called ORM. Finish. Okay, now we have to define these two files, user and user roles, inside this ORM. So these are the files. I'll just copy paste it, and here it's not that hard to understand. Here we just write the corresponding relation, and also for the user roles it's the same. So we have the username, which is assigned to the column username, password assigned to the, which is assigned to the column password, enabled property assigned to the column user enabled, that you see here. Not so, yeah, here. So user In the user table you have username, password and enabled table, which you also define here, and same for the roles. Okay, now just we need one more file. This is for just for the login, so we just define the path which should be logged. That's it. Okay, now one more thing we almost forgot is we have to change a few things in Spring Security. So these are the old things, and we didn't have any our own authentication provider, so we have to provide our own authentication provider. So we'll remove it and add our own authentication provider, which is the service that we created. So here we had defined one service, so here we defined a service called my user detail service, which is pointing to the class, this class, and this will act as the authentication provider. So we'll go here and define our authentication provider, and the hash password encoder is the decrypt encoder. Okay, let's see if everything is okay. And yeah, that's it. The important things are, and let's try to run the project. So let's just delete it just in case. And let's try to run it. Save it. Run on server. Next, finish. If everything is fine, then there won't be any error, but I think we see some error. Yeah. users.svm.xml can be opened because it doesn't exist. Okay, some problem with it. Let's see. Oh, sorry, we put in the test resource, that's why. So I'll just put it here, and also this file. Okay, now everything should be okay. Sorry. Let's run it. Okay, let's see if we have some error. No, doesn't seems to be any error. Now let's check. Okay, let's refresh it. Okay, it's working. The home page. Let's go to admin page. Username is admin and password is admin. Sorry. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the username and password in my XML file. As you can see, I said I will not show in the video, but I forgot to put it in here. So here I should put my username and password. So I'll just put it and run it. So for this, I'll just not showing the video, I'll just pause the video and just put and run. Okay, I put the password. Now again try to run the server. Okay, let's stop it, and here we go. Okay, there is no error, and let's try again. So we go to the home page and we want to go to the admin page. Admin and admin. Okay, now I'm logged in into admin. let's try to go to guest page, guest and guest. Yeah, so we are able to log in, so everything is working now. So I will just zip everything and put the link to the zip file in the description of this project, and also the SQL dump file, which you will find just in the root of the project.